portions of this program may not be suitable for those under the age of 18. Parental guidance is suggested.
My name's Dave Troyer. I'm the Director of Golf at Common Ground Golf Course, who's the proud sponsor of the Beer30 Show. And you are listening to the Beer30 Show with Danny and Joel.
Alrighty. Beer30 is when you walk into a bar or a VFW, and in that 30 seconds, you can already tell.
That guy right there is drunk, that guy's an idiot, and that guy down there knows it all.
There are programs out there beyond the VA.
Many non-profit organizations. The Beer30 Show.
It's the Beer30 Show. Made by veterans.
For veterans.
All right, we're going to try this again for the third time. We've been having technical difficulties for the last 19 minutes. So hopefully this is working now. Once again, it's another edition of the Beer30 Show with Danny and Joel, premiering Azaul, the trainer slash union band member slash. This woman can do everything, people. Let's just be honest, all right? Once again, the Beer30 Show is, as you could hear, it's presented by Common Ground. They're our sponsor, Common Ground Golf Course. I'm flustered right now, Danny, because of all the stuff that I'm out of my wick. That's what TBIs do. If everything doesn't go as planned, everything gets screwed up and we get flustered. Azaul knows that with me. Remember Azaul, everybody, this is Azaul. Say hi, Azaul.
Hi.
There we go.
Hi.
Azaul remembers because I showed up one time for a PT workout session, and I got pulled over by the cops. Yeah, that PT session didn't last very long. During this call, everybody, if you by chance at all have questions to ask, band-wise or training-wise or CrossFit-wise, you can call us at 720-316-0368, and you can ask Azaul yourself, kind of the stump the trainer bit. But everybody that's listening, if you listened and you've been on the line for the last 17 minutes waiting for this to go through, we really appreciate you keeping tuned in and being patient with us.
We does not want to Joel's strong suits.
That we, huh?
That's definitely not one of your strong suits.
No, it isn't.
Patience.
No, that's, Jim's right. That's one of the reasons why I'm not a baseball fan, is because it's slow and I have no patience whatsoever at all. But with that being said, unfortunately, I think the whole thing became technical difficulty due to the webcam that we tried to do today. I kind of figured that it might have around 5:30 or 5:25, because when I was doing a test run, the sound from the webcam, it had a microphone, and I'm like, really? Where's the microphone at? So I'm sitting here trying to set defaults. So I think that was the reason for all the crappy commotion. But
without further ado,
here is the show.
Sometimes
Azaul.
I gotta make Joel stop. Sometimes. He's out of his element at the moment.
Yeah.
So yes, we have Azaul Ferreira, I believe. Ferreira. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah,
okay.
Ferreira.
Fiore. Leave it to Joel. He'll screw up any name. You should have heard our last interview guy. I thought his last name was Frito-Lay, and I didn't say anything, and I was way off. You know, Sammy, Samsonite, that kind of way off. But Azaul,
It's totally Samsonite. You were right.
I'm telling you, Azaul. Now that we got the show moving smoothly, tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to being a personal trainer, and what inspired you to start the music career?
Well, as a trainer, I liked the idea of getting a certification because I started helping people just by myself like 5 or 6 years ago. My previous job, and I was just kind of doing it for free, and I was very into it. I started getting like really fit and kind of started to do high intensity interval training. Back then I had no idea I was kind of doing CrossFit. And then I started, one of my friends told me that when I was training him, he was like, well, you should just get an actual certification and you can start, actually making money out of it. And so I did, and I've been doing this for 5 years now. It's been 5 years in January that I became a personal trainer. And during those 5 years, I've seen all kinds of people. Can I say names of companies? Like corporations, or is that allowed or no?
I believe you'd be fine with that. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I started with like big chain 24-hour fitness for a couple years, and then after that, I decided to leave, and I started working at Buckley Air Force Base Fitness Center, and I've been there for 3 years now.
Okay, so how true? Like I see all these jokes all the time. That one, a CrossFitter walks in the bar. They know because they let everybody know that they're a CrossFitter. Is that really true?
I don't know. I think that's just very. It's more. I think with me at least in my experience, it's more people ask me about it, so I end up talking about it because people see us working out there, like me and Nadia. We do CrossFit, and then the people that we interact with are all people that do CrossFit. And when they have curiosity, they, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? So we end up talking about it, but we don't necessarily go and like.
So you're not going to run out to the middle of the desert to like a guy who's dehydrated. Only person for miles around, be like run up to him, be like, I'm a CrossFitter, and take off, right?
No.
Okay,
no,
awesome.
No. We do a lot of jokes there on base, though, I must say.
Now the funny thing is when we were training, the gym is especially full and crowded when it's the first of the year, Danny, and then like start February, me and Azaul used to joke about this, like it would slowly die out starting February. Like nobody would start coming to the gym anymore, but it was very crowded that first month.
Yep, that's when the cravings start kicking in too hard, and everybody's like, "Yeah, I need that cupcake now."
Yeah.
So Azaul, tell us a little bit about what CrossFit is, so that for the people that don't know, and how can somebody get started in CrossFit?
Right.
Well, basically, CrossFit put together all functional movements and started calling it CrossFit, but they also put like standards of range of motion, or let's say distance. If you're throwing a ball on a wall, there's the standard of 9 and 10 foot, female and male, that you need to throw the ball. The squats they only count if you drop below 90 degrees. The range of motion for push-ups is not 90 degrees. It's below 90. Your chest must touch the ground. So there's a lot of movements that already, well, basically almost all of them already existed as far as in functional fitness, but they grabbed them all, Olympic lifting, some of gymnastics, and weightlifting and powerlifting, and they put them all together, and they they said, we're going to create a very varied workout that is never going to be the same, and you're going to be lifting heavy, but you also should be able to run fast, and you should be able to do these movements in a workout together, and like gymnastics movements, so body weight movements as well. It's always different. It's so varied. You know, you're very rarely going to do the same workout. And it's the main goal about a CrossFit WOD or workout of the day is to push you to that limit of feeling uncomfortable where you almost feel like you're going to die. And then you overcome that pain and, you know, you pass that part where you feel horrible and you become better every time you do it because, and that's why a lot of people like get so along that do CrossFit because we all are together in pain because we all feel that, you know, we get in that hole and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do this. And you finally finish and you're like, I did something amazing. So that's basically what a CrossFit workout is.
Okay, so does Joel do the CrossFit with you?
Actually, he did without knowing, but again,
Please tell me he wore the spandex. Please tell me he wore spandex.
No, she wears the spandex.
And a leotard. I know you wear a leotard, don't you, Joel?
No, I don't wear a leotard.
No, and I just got my cert. When was it? Almost a year ago. I think in March it will be a year. But before that, I'm kind of new, you could say. Like, I started looking more into it about 2 years ago is when I really started digging more into it just because I thought it was very interesting and I was already doing it and people would be telling me all the time, you're doing CrossFit, but I was just doing my own workouts. But eventually, you know, when I started seeing all these guys and girls doing basically similar things to me, but so much better and faster and heavier, I was like, I want to do that. And I became more involved in it and, you know, got a lifting or Olympic lifting diploma and got my level 1 CrossFit and just started to learn more about it and understand it better and learn how to program it as well.
And now you're doing events, right?
Right now, I'm currently helping. I'm supporting Devil Dog CrossFit, who's in Pueblo, and he runs this. This is the third year he runs Survival of the Fittest, and it's an event that it's a CrossFit event, but it's in support of veterans. Like he actually founded Veterans Overcoming Obstacles, and he helps veterans that struggle with PTSD and, you know, other, you know, problems that they have because of being veterans and, you know, having issues, mental issues. So he helps them through fitness. He brings them in to the gym and they try to put like a team together and they go out for like Spartan races or they do like rock marches and stuff, but keeps them together and helps them stay healthier or stay healthy both mentally and physically. So this one that's coming up February 13th and 14th is going to be amazing just because last year it was sold out event. So this year it's probably going to be even better and bigger. And the other cool thing about it is, I don't know if you guys know that most events are pretty expensive. And this event is only costing $50. Most CrossFit events start at $150. And that's per person. So this one, because it's a kind of like a fundraiser, we're hoping that we're hoping to get more participants because of the price.
So the money you guys make, who does that go to benefit, or does it go to a specific nonprofit?
It's Veterans Overcoming Obstacles. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
VO2. Yeah.
So
and
it goes
he,
to helping
the owner.
the
Yeah, and he is the same. So him as the owner of Devil Dog CrossFit, he founded Veterans Overcoming Obstacles. In fact, the first year that they ran this event, he gave a percentage of that that money to what's it called? You used to be with Danny&Joel, Wounded Warrior Project, but he decided after that year that he did not want to, be associated with him, and he wanted to start his own nonprofit.
Yeah. So, Joel, you can go ahead and ask some questions. I think I got all the CrossFit stuff out of the way. You can always ask her about her band and stuff if you'd like.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here taking like the whole show from you today.
Oh, no, that's okay. You're doing great, man. I'm sitting here licking my wounds over here. Azaul, I know about I know about you being a trainer and all. And we've done a show with you about, doing being a trainer. And one of the reasons why I wanted you to come onto the show is because, we've got a new sound. The sound quality is better now. And I think that when people listen to it, now they'll totally get into it more than they did, way back there. Way back when we first did the interview. But
new show, new sound. Joel has less
Danny
hair.
Is like 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I get this post that Azaul, like they're in like these morph suits, and I know about.
Like
I know
Power
about
Rangers.
the music that Azaul listens to, the rock stuff, the kind of rock music you like. And already I think that stuff's weird, but it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the art of it is. Don't knock it till you try it. But so I see this message on Facebook with her dressed as a morph with these other guys, and I'm like thinking to myself, the Union? What the heck is the Union? So I do some research and I go to the Facebook page, and I'm sitting here, listening to this music, and when it comes to music, I'm kind of a stickler. Like I'm very picky on what kind of music I like, and Azaul knows this because we try to do the training thing, and I told her, I'm like, yeah, this is like Cookie Monster on steroids kind of music, and she's like playing this stuff, and I look at her and I'm like, yeah, I like party, and she plays this techno music, and she's like, here's party, and I'm like, that is not even close to party music. So I'm like going to this website, and I read and I watch these videos of this band, the Union, and I didn't even know about this stuff. Like, I met Azaul, like, I think it's been like 3 years ago when she started training me at 24-hour fitness. And then it just...
No, it was longer than that.
Huh?
It was, I know you longer than that. It was like 5 years ago.
5 years ago? Okay, 5 years ago. And she transferred 24 over to Buckley. And they have if you're in the Colorado area and you have a doctor's note, Buckley does provide trainers, but you have to put in the time. The trainers won't just, they won't schedule you. Like, they have to know that you're willing to put in the time, and they got that program. I mean, if they had that program there in Jacksonville, I'm sure you would grab onto it, Danny. To have your personal trainer, that means something. So anyways, I get on this Facebook page, and I'm listening to this music, and I'm like, this is actually pretty good music. I mean, I liked it, and I loved the song "Sweet Dreams Are Made of These." And Danny, we won't be playing it when she's on, of course, because I don't want her blushing. But when we come back from break, you're going to hear a song of it. "Sweet Dreams Are Made of These," and these are cool. So I just found out about this band, the Union. Azaul, tell us about this band of the Union and what inspired us, what inspired you about it, and why am I just now finding out about this? I mean, I didn't even know about this.
Well, I left it out for you to discover, I guess, eventually. I don't really advertise it at work just because I had previous bad experiences combining my artistic side with work. So I decided that I was not going to really talk about it. If someone found out about it, that's cool. And that has happened a lot on base, which is kind of funny because I've gone to, shows and all of a sudden, they're like, hey, aren't you also like, they're like, you're like the girl on YouTube, the Union. I was like, yeah. And you work on bass too, right? I'm like, yeah. Oh, and it's happened several times. Yeah. So, I try not to mix it. But, aside from that, like on my other part of my life, I've been doing music for about 15 years. So I haven't really stopped making music since a long time ago. I started with like smaller projects in my hometown. Like one of them was electronic. Then I was in a death metal band as a bass player and a backing singer, you could say, or screamer. And then I joined also a band to play like just rock in this bar just to earn some money. And then I had another project that I ended up canceling because of my ex-boyfriend. Oh. And then after that, I decided that I was going to do something more authentic, and I wanted to mix my, let's say, the roots that I had, like from industrial music, with the stuff that I like from electronic music. Okay. And that's how I started the union about maybe 5 years ago, or actually longer than that. No, it was about 6 years ago, or 5, 6, I think 6. And then I got an album out. The first album was more like classic, or not classic, but I should say more like industrial type. There was not a lot of electronics in it, but it was still kind of gearing towards it. And then after that, I decided I was going to remix my own album, and I really, really enjoyed doing that. And after that, I decided I'm just going to gear towards the more industrial, electronic, aggressive type of electronic music. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2.5 years.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So, Are you telling me that you know how to play piano, guitar, drums, or do you have other band members? Because I remember I talking to you about possibly recreating, or it'll be the same intro, but recreating the intro, and you said that you was a one-person band. So does that mean that you're able to do those three things?
Yeah, I basically do the vocals, play the guitar, the bass, the synthesizer, and there's also the programming. Everything is done in the computer, but it's programmed. It's not pre-programmed or anything like that. So I make all the beats and all that stuff.
So that's awesome. You play all those instruments, because Joel can play the kazoo and I can play the triangle.
Hey, I can play the acoustic guitar now.
You know what? I have an acoustic guitar, and I've had it sitting next to me
guitar
for the last 10 years, and I still have yet to really pick it up and do anything with it.
I can play the acoustic guitar, and I'm very proud to add to you, Danny, that I know 5 songs, and not one of them is damn Mary Had a Little Lamb either.
It's Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. We all know
that. No. But, okay, so
we're running out of time, Azaul. Could you give our listeners your website, your Facebook page, a way so they can follow you?
Facebook is Facebook/The Union Project. And you can find all the stuff. I mean, basically, the videos are there. Some of the music is there. And then the radio, it's on Django Radio. Was it Django Radio Airplay? Some of my stuff is uploaded there. Pandora is not accepting anything unless you have physical CD, which I refuse to do. It's a waste of money. So that's about it. Everything is on Facebook. I think that I don't need a website, honestly. I've had one before. Everyone is just working on Facebook lately. So, yeah, you'll find most of the stuff there. The videos, music, links, pictures, all that fun stuff.
Okay, awesome. Before we let you go, and before we go to break, is there anything that you want to tell us before you go? Because I have a memo here that says, tell us about your event coming up, the survival of the fittest, the battle continues, support our military through fitness, and what nonprofit does that benefit?
It was the one we were talking about a few minutes ago. So it goes to Veterans Overcoming Obstacles, which is based in Pueblo, and the owner of Devil Dog CrossFit owns it. His name is Chris Carter. The event will be held on the 13th and 14th of February is a CrossFit event.
Okay.
However, it's at the Aurora Sports Festival, so there's also a powerlifting competition, and there's also an Olympic lifting competition going on at the same time. So anyone that wants to go assist over there and support the people that are going to be competing, or if people are interested in competing, they can go to devildoccrossfit.com. and they can purchase their tickets to participate. They're $50 for individuals, $100 for teams. Military get a 20% discount, so it will be $40 individuals and $80 for teams if you're a veteran or in military or a police officer, etc.
All right, wow. So awesome. Thank you for coming on to the show, Azaul. I will. I'll see you soon, of course. And thanks for being patient with the technical issues. So, Danny, you have anything to add?
No, just thank you for being on, Azaul. We appreciate it, and I hope we can get you on here again later on when you're more successful again.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
All right. So, how long was... Hey, Danny, how long was my webcam video off?
It just went off for about a brief second.
Oh, okay. All right.
You sound like you sounded like a 16-year-old girl right then when you said that. Oh, okay. You did. I'm serious. So real quick before we cut to break, Joel, I had something for you since you were talking about your taste of music. I wanted to share with the listeners something that me and Joel always have to listen to every single time we're together, and I have it on standby for you, buddy.
Now that is a classic.
It is. It is such a classic. It's our favorite song, but we have our own version of it, which we really can't say on the air.
No, we cannot.
But but yes, this
say
is a very.
The effer was dry. That's all we can actually say. While you're playing that, when we you can continue playing that if you want.
You want me to continue?
Yeah, sure. Why not? While that's playing, we will continue the show coming after break. One of the
I'm just gonna turn it off, Joel.
Okay, that's all right.
Just gonna take it out.
Me and Danny got our power play discussion that's coming up in the next 30 minutes. So,
well, Joel, we only have 15, so we're gonna have to cut these short.
Probably, yeah. Well, because of technical difficulties, yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna cut them short, but we're gonna still cover them. We're just not gonna be able to talk as much about them.
Right. So but here's a teaser. Super Bowl 50 is coming up, and when we come back, Danny, I'm going to tell you that a Pacific person, a newborn, is being charged $5,000 for a Super Bowl ticket. More details on the way.
Sounds good.
And now, a message from your radio station.
We just like to say that any connection between your mother and us is purely Facebook related.
NBR Radio.